Risenmay, the topic of the 4 hats of leadership and emotional IQ. So he's going to walk you through the stages of building the business, from the point of building to the point of training, and then leading and inspiring. So he'll walk you gracefully through all of that because he's an incredible speaker. And the importance of owning your business, being responsible. Please do not ever say, it's because of my upline. Never ever say that. That is just no excuses. This is not an excuse zone. You got to take ownership. And he's going to show you all the kinds of obstacles that may come along in the course of building and how you can respond in the best way, okay? And we all know Seth Risenmay. He does the mastermind calls often. He is co-founder of the Edge Success System. One thing I appreciate about him is his fervent desire to get clarity on things, and that's why he's such an excellent interviewer. I remember when I first was listening to the mastermind calls 3 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so smart. I was like, how does he do it? And I watched him, and I paid attention to him, and I learned from him. And I attribute my ability to conduct the product share calls because of what he does. He was like my teacher in interviewing and moderating calls. So he will ask you a million questions to get to the core of why you do what you do. And that is why he has this wisdom and knowledge, because he will not stop until he finds that answer. So he is wise, he is clear, and he's going to come up here and show you how to move through the process of building the business. So Seth Risenmay, come on up. Woo, yes. There you go. You're welcome.
Are you ready to hear from a wise man? So wise. All right, Rod, come on up. Thanks for being here. This is awesome. I'm glad that you could all make it safely. Anyway, let's get into this because we don't have too much time. So first of all, do any of you ever feel like maybe you've hit a rank and you're stuck? You can't get past that rank? Is that just frustrating or what? I can imagine that's very frustrating. So this presentation should bring a lot of clarity to you on how to overcome those types of blocks in your business. So let's get into this. So first of all, we talk about the 4 different phases of building a business. There's the building phase. This is when you just start, when you are finding people, when you're teaching, when you're in the throes of it. And there's the training, where you're teaching people how to do what you just did, leading, and inspiring. So those are the 4 phases. Now, this is different. The ranks in doTERRA fit inside of those phases, which we'll get to shortly. But those are the different phases you're going to go through. And so there's different hats that you put on. These are the 4 hats that you wear in doTERRA. So in the build phase, you're putting on your builder's hat. You're getting to work. This is the hard part. And it's the part where most people quit. Most people don't get past the build phase because they put on that hat. In fact, I remember one of the diamonds on our team, Kim Allen, she actually called me one time and she said, she goes, Seth, it's not that I don't like teaching classes and inviting people and stuff like that. She goes, but is this the way it's going to be forever? And she was breaking down emotionally. And I'm like, no, actually it's not. This isn't the way it is forever. In fact, it gets so much better. And so when you hop into the train phase, you put on a training hat. This is when you're the teacher. When you're teaching people how to do what you did. And leading, I couldn't come up with a better hat. It's like a Boy Scout leader hat guy, Follow Me Boys, if you've seen that movie. But anyway, so work with us. I mean, if you can come up with a better leadership hat, let me know. But that's the leading phase. And then finally, inspire. Now, I have a crown here, and I'll explain as to why that's there a little bit later on in the presentation. So what I'm really excited about is that if you think about what we do when we're building, you're finding, you're teaching, you're enrolling, you're getting people started in the process. Oh, hold on. That just happened. Looks like the changes I made were not updated. Dang it. All right, so this is a quick start guide, right? This is a tool. These are tools that help you in the process, or the class, or the member overview, or the business overview. These are all tools that you use in the building phase of your business. So we talk about how in order to be successful in doTERRA, what you do is you learn and master the art of finding people by teaching them 3 presentations. Mastering those presentations. That's the build phase. And the presentations are the oil class, the membership, and the business overview. All right? That's what you have to become great at. Now in the train phase, we have the boot camp. That'll be happening tomorrow. And the boot camp is all about training people how to do the things you did to build your business. Now today, we have the Leadership Academy. This is brand new. And this is just understanding that there is training that has to happen in order to get you to get past these different ranks that you're experiencing. And then there's something I call the Nature of Success. Now, that is a 3-day course. And that is one of those things that you come to that and we help you get through a lot of emotional barriers, and there's actually about 33 different principles that you live your life by that you learn in that course. That's a phenomenal experience. If you've ever, have any of you actually been through that? Raise your hand. Yeah, there's a handful. Okay, so how does this then deal with your rank? So if you might recognize this graphic. This is actually in the Quick Start Guide. But it gives you an idea of the level of commitment that it would take and the time that it would take for you to reach any particular rank. So sometimes people get into doTERRA and they think, I'm just going to do this in my very spare time. I can teach a class a week. I've got 3 to 5 hours I can give this. And that is awesome, but you need to know, if I were to be completely honest with you, if you're stuck at elite or executive, it's because you're putting in spare time effort. Now, there is another alternative to this. You could also be putting in elite type of activities. And so there's 2 things that you'll notice that if you put in spare time, you only have the capacity to truly be about an elite in the company. Now, if you go to part-time, which is about 8 to 12 hours per week, that gives you the capacity to get all the way up through silver. And then full-time is 15 to 30 hours, and that has, frankly, if you get into those realms, you have, especially about 30 hours a week, you're cranking through a lot of those larger ranks. Now, when Rod and I sat down and were creating this particular graphic, I remember pulling in people into my office and saying, what do you think about that? Should we include this because that could be very disheartening to people who are just getting started. And the overwhelming advice was, no, they need to see it. You have to know what you're getting into. And so that you're not getting frustrated with it. So just look at the time commitments that it would take. Ask yourself, how much time am I actually putting into my business? And if you were to take that time, how far would it actually get you? Does that start to give you some idea of why you're stuck at the rank you're at? For anybody if that's brought some clarity to you, raise your hand. Okay? Well, this is where it gets even better. So there's building activities where you put on your builder hat. In the very beginning, all of us have builder hats on. And that will get you to elite. Then there are activities you do to train, and that will get you to silver. In other words, the 8 to 12 hours that you put in your business that will get you to silver, the activities that you're engaged in are building activities and training activities. Does that make sense? All right, now, leading activities will take you all the way to diamond, and inspiring type of things will take you all the way to blue and presidential. Your ability to inspire others. So as you look at the rank that you're at and where you're breaking down, it's either the time or it's the type of activities that you're engaged in that are stopping you where you're at. Okay? So let's go through this and get a little bit more clarity. Now, the reason why elite, a 3,000 OV, reason why a builder can get there is because all that you're doing in the building phase is finding, teaching, and enrolling people, right? Now, if you get to go past elite, you'll notice that there's a structure requirement in doTERRA. You actually have to get other people to do the same thing you did. If you can't train someone to do what you did, then you're going to be stuck at elite for a long, long time. Okay? Now, the other ranks of gold through diamond, those ranks, you'll notice that they require a different level of leadership. In other words, you are a leader of leaders. So the bottom level, you'll see the executives in green and the elites in yellow on those graphics. Those are builders. Those are people with builder hats on. But in order for you to get past that, you have to become a leader of people who train other people to do what they did. Does that make sense? So you are a leader of trainers, of builders. Now, if we go to the next ranks of blue diamond and presidential diamond, think about the structure that's required here. You are the leader of leaders, of trainers, of builders. Did you all follow that? So how do you lead leaders? You inspire them. You inspire them. Think about the people in the doTERRA family that have inspired you. I'll never forget, one time I was sitting in a leadership, it was a leadership event, I was silver, I think. Danny Smith? Is that her last name? She was up speaking at this event. She and I think we joined doTERRA about the same time. And she had gone diamond. And I remember just sitting there going, how'd she do that? And then she got up on stage and she was talking about how she did it. And it's like, oh my gosh, she sold out. And I looked and I figured out, she's just putting in a lot more time than I am. I'm not putting in near enough time. And so and she inspired me. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. I mean, that's why Rod's such a powerful leader. You just look at him and you go, dude, if you can do this, I can do this. By the way, I also want to bring a little bit of clarity to this. You know I'm speaking in, I love Rod. Actually, we spend a very unhealthy amount of time with each other. So, and in fact, last night we were, Courtney goes, okay, stop right there. No, but anyway, last night I was like, hey, Rod, and this, you'll also know this about me. I don't plan well, and so I'm not a preparer per se. And Courtney knows this because every time it's my turn to do the mastermind, she'll send me a text reminding me that it's my turn to do the mastermind. And I'm like, I'm so thankful you said that. But anyway, so I get here last night. I'm like, hey, Rod, can I come up? How about can I just stay in your hotel room? Sure. We get up there, 1 king bed. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So anyway, now with that said, good moral of the story, hey, we're blue diamonds. I just went and got my own room right next door to him. Okay, so. But what I wanted to say, notice these two ranks here, gold and diamond. So they require the same level of leadership. You need to be able to lead people who are able to train builders. That's why, if you've reached the rank of diamond, you probably notice that in bad months, you'll probably go down to gold. And if you are a gold, just so you know, you have what it takes to go diamond. If a person can go gold on their own, they can go diamond on their own, period. And just so you know also, golds are diamonds and diamonds are golds. I see it all the time. People in my organization hit diamond and then they drop down to gold and they rarely ever go below that. Why? Because they've mastered the ability to lead trainers of builders. All right? Now, then you get into these ranks. And typically, people that actually go blue and above, they normally stay. I've noticed. It's very rare that they start falling back down. Unless some leader, like one particular leg, a leader just decides they're done. Okay, so with all of that said, this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how we do this. So if it's just you, right now, you're starting today, what hat do you wear? The builder hat. And where will that get you? The lead. All right.